So here we go. Number one, right off the bat, the very first word says about. That means we're rounding. Get a scrap sheet of paper. About. How much would it cost to buy? What does it say? 18 what? What does it say? MP3 players. So look over here on your charts. Is the first one say MP3 player? No. Does the second one say MP3 players? Yeah. So we're going to round those because it says about. So instead of calling 18 MP3 players, what do y'all want to call that? Probably 20? I agree. And instead of calling the MP3 players $99, what do y'all want to call that? 100. I agree. So now out beside that, put times 20 because I bought 20 of them. Which that should be easy. Look, this is your refresher. I'll write it for you. Hey, I'll write it for you. I just need to see your eyes. All you got to do is that times that, which is 2, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3 zeros. So what would 2 with 3 zeros be? $2,000. So there's your first answer. Now the second, because there's another part to this. About, how much would it cost to buy, what does this say? 18 CDs slash MP3 players. So if we called 1820 up there, let's call it 20 here again. And CD and MP3 players are the third thing on the chart. And how much do those cost? What did y'all say? I heard somebody already round it. What? 200. I agree. And we got 20 of those. So Kiara, how would I do 20 times 200? What would I do? Times the two twos and get
4.
and then count a 1 and a 2 and a 3 zeros, making your answer be 4,000. Good. All mental math. Number 2. I want you to round 184 to something and fill in the blank. What do y'all think 184 should round to? Probably 200. I was thinking that as well. Then it wants you to round 210 to something. What would y'all round 210 to something? Just say it. 200. Okay. So then these go in these blanks. Just like that. Then 2 times 2 is going to draw your little rainbow like we usually do. 2 times 2 would get you 4. And now put dots in your zeros. A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Making your answer be 40,000. Shake your head if you remember this. I know we've slept. I know there's been some football games. But this is pretty easy stuff, isn't it? Okay, Eric, pick a number 3 to 12. Is 12 the bottom? No, 3 to 15. I'll pull it up.
11.
What one? 11. So Eric, 498. Oh, that would be so hard to do in our head, but I know a number very close to that. That would be really easy. 500. I was thinking that too. Plus it's got zeros on the end. We love it when it has zeros on the end. Yeah. So Luke, what about 47? What would you change that to, bud? 50. I totally agree with you. Now Colin, tell us what to do now.
5 times
5 times 5 will get us 25 with a 1 and a 2 and a 3 zeros. Thumbs up? Did you have this? Okay. Now let's do a couple more. Jake Lee, pick one. 9. Number 9, 189. Jake Lee, that would be too hard to do in my head, but is there a number really close to that I could change it to? 200. Hope, what about 46? What do you want that to become? 30 would be way too low. Wouldn't 46 be close to 50?
It's a great day for school at CMS. Good morning. Let's all stand, face the flag, and place our hands over our hearts for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is now time for the moment of silence. You may choose to reflect, meditate, pray, or engage in any other silent activity that does not interfere with others. The moment of silence shall begin now. be no math lab. Fall break is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Today for lunch, we will be having cheeseburger mac, green beans, breadstick, fruit, and milk.
Congratulations to the following students that made this year's academic team. The new team members are Xander Williams, Brody Hargrove, Kale Robinson, Sam Moyer, Gabe Ritter, Emma Howard, Kenzie Terrell, Cambria Ritter, Creed Wright, and Aiden Diver. Congratulations.
Have a Tiger Day.
Okay, so we gotta finish number 9. 46 would be closer to 50, don't y'all agree? Plus it's over the halfway mark, because let's think about it. Hey, look up here real quick. If over there's 40, Bentley, look, if over there's 40 and over there's 50, where's the halfway mark between 40 and 50? Where? 45, wouldn't it be? Where's 46? Would I go back this way for 46, or would I go this way for 46? I'd go this way, making me bump up to what number? 50. 30 was way too low. Here, draw your arrow or your rainbow. Girls, what's 5 times 2? 10. With the 1 and a 2 and a 3 zeros. How come I ended up with 4 zeros? I thought I was only supposed to have 3. Just say it.
Because 10
10 already had a 0, didn't it? Okay, one more. Keeper, pick one.
12.
Number 12. Keeper, 492. What are you thinking that would be much easier to multiply in your head?
500.
500. Hayden, what about number 20? The number 22. What would you say that? 20. Oh gosh, we just did one just like this, didn't we? What's 5 times 2, girls? 10. With the 1 and a 2 and a 3 zeros. How come I have 4 zeros? Because the 10 already had one. We just did one just like that, didn't we? Okay, turn the page. You can do that. I know. That's what I'm at. Number 16. Laura's family is going on a vacation. Ooh, that would be fun. Maybe it's fall break for her family. Listen to how many miles they're going to drive. They're going to drive 4,180 miles over the next 2 days. See this word right here? That's my favorite word now, because we can round and do things in our head. So instead of 4,180 miles, what do y'all want to round that to? 4,000. Mark this out right off the bat. So much easier, isn't it? Okay, now let's go back to this. Get your pencil on they will drive, because there's some important information in this line. They will drive 4,000 miles over the next, what does this say right here? So it's going to take them 2 weeks to drive 4,000 miles. So now here we are on the question. How many miles will they drive on average? What does this say though? Each week, which is 1 week, isn't it? So if the whole thing is 4,000, let's cut that in half, and the answer would be what? 2,000. Good job. There's your answer. And I want you to write it like this. 2,000 week, and that little line is 2,000 per week. Have you ever seen a little line like that? Well, now you have. 2,000 miles a week. Okay, this is tricky, so I need everybody paying attention to this. Number 17. A bus service drives passengers between Milwaukee and Chicago every day. Let's just stop right there. So y'all know what, like, we're talking, you know, maybe you don't have your own car, or maybe your mom and dad are putting you on a bus to send you somewhere. Do y'all know what we're talking about? We're not talking a school bus. We're talking about one of those big buses that drives across the United States. Okay, let's pretend like you're the bus driver. You're that bus driver, and you drive from what city to what city every day? Tell me. That doesn't say Muskogee. What does that say? Milwaukee to where? Say it. Chicago. Where's Milwaukee? What state? You don't know? You've never heard of Milwaukee? Milwaukee is in Wisconsin. I know you've heard of Chicago. Where is that? You know? Illinois. I heard somebody saying. Did you say Illinois? Yeah. So if this whole board is the United States of America, and Oklahoma is right in the very middle, isn't it? Luke, quit. Where would Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Chicago, Illinois be? What direction do I need to go? What? North. Is this where Wisconsin and Illinois is? I thought up north, like straight north, would be like where North Dakota and South Dakota is. So where do I need to go for Wisconsin and Illinois? I need to go more about right this way, don't I? Eric, good job. So it's like if here's Oklahoma, where we are, Milwaukee and Chicago would be up somewhere up in here, where it's pretty cold too. So every day, oh my gosh, it's your job to just drive from Milwaukee to Chicago, from Milwaukee to Chicago, and look how many times they do it. Get your pencil on they. They travel from city to city. Oh my gosh, what does that say? 8 times every day. So when you get up in the morning and you're the bus driver, this is how you make a living for your family. You're driving to Chicago, back to Milwaukee, to Chicago, back to Milwaukee, to Chicago. Do you know how boring that would be? That would be kind of a boring job, wouldn't it? Of course, you would meet lots of people. Keeper, are you watching? Because this is important. The distance between the two cities is, what does that say right there? 89 miles. In February, there's 28 days. The company's budget allows for 28,000 total miles for February. Do you think the budget is reasonable? Now I'm going to underline that word right there, reasonable. That's our key word to know that we're going to be able to round. Reasonable means, like, does it make sense? Is it within the same, like, is it even close? That's what reasonable means. So, okay, I need to see your eyes, okay? Because I'm not going to do all this for you. Where am I going from where to where? Where am I going? How many times do I do that a day? 8. Now, that's one number we could round. Or we could leave it. I mean, we should know our 8s. Do y'all want to round it or do you want to leave it? Leave it. Okay, so we're leaving 8. And how many miles is it from Milwaukee to Chicago? That was on this sentence. How many miles? What does it say? 89. Do y'all want to change that, though?
Yeah.
What do you want to change 89 to be?
90.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to act it out. I'm the bus driver. I just drove 90 miles. Am I done for the day? No. I just drove another 90 miles. Am I done for the day?
No.
I just drove another. And how many times do I do that every day?
8.
So do you want to add 90 plus 90 plus 90? What do you want to do? 90 times 8. Write down on your scrap paper. Now draw your arrows from 8 to 9, which you should know this. Who knows 8 times 9? Just say it. 72. Only 2 people. Ooh, scary. Am I done?
No.
What do I have to do?
Add
Add 1 0. Okay, so now watch what I want you to do. I want you to put per day. 720 miles every day. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. Okay, now I want you to get your pencil on in February. What does it say about in February? There's what? 28 days. Now, eyes back up here on me. If you're the bus driver, February 1st, how many miles do you drive? How many on February 2nd? Well, how many on just February 2nd? 720. How many on February 3rd? 720. And how many days are you going to have to do this just for February? 28 days. So what do you want to do? Do you want to do 720 plus 720
No.
plus 720? I would love to hear from you, Kiara. What do you think I should do?
You should times the 70 something with the 90.
We already did the 90. There's not 90 days in February. How many days are in February? Say it.
28.
Do you want to leave it 28?
No.
What would y'all rather it be?
30.
30, I agree. So on scrap paper, I want you to write 720 times 30. Okay, and then I want you to draw your arrow from 72 to 3. But I got a problem. Does anybody know there's 72s? Do you think there's something we could do to this to make it easier where we could round it in our head? What do you think we should do?
Round it to 700.
Was that what you were thinking? Round it to 700? What were you thinking?
I was just telling what Dad plus that is. I figured I was adding 720.
I didn't want you to add 720. That's too hard to do in your head. I like Caden's idea better. Let's change our 720 to 700 because this will be so much easier to do in our head. Because we should know our 3 times 7s. What is our 3 times 7s?
21.
21 with a 1 and a 2 and a 3 zeros. Okay, now watch what I want you to do now. This isn't per day. What is this? It's per what? Month. So we knew how much we did a day. Then we had to go figure out how much we did a week. Then we had to go figure out, we knew how much we did a trip. Then we had to figure out how much we did a day. Then we had to figure out how much we did a month. So get your pencil on the companies. The company's budget allows for, what does it say right there? 28,000 total miles for February. The budget, that means how much that they are going to allow you to drive. So do you think the budget is reasonable? This is how much we think that we're going to drive. Do you think it's fair that they're allowing us to drive 28,000 miles? Do you think that's reasonable?
Yes.
Then there's your answer. Yes. I hope you're paying attention because there's one just like that on Practice Buddies, only it's about a train, but it's the exact same kind of thing. Number 18, explain whether rounding or compatible numbers gives a closer estimate for the products below. I want you to underline 4 and I want you to underline 1, and this is rounding. So Brooklyn, what's that 8 going to do that for, sister? So what's my new number?
50.
Everybody write 50 there. Bentley, what's that 2 going to do to that 1? It can't change it, so what's my new number? 100. Oh, by the way, come out to the side and put R for rounding. This is the rounding way we're doing it. So draw your little rainbow from 5 to 1, and 5 times 1 is going to get you 5 with a 1 and 2 and 3 zeros. Shake your head if that made perfect sense for rounding, okay? Now we're going to do compatible numbers. Now here's what I think we should do for compatible numbers. I think the 48 should stay at 50. I don't think there's anything that you can change the 48 to. But the 123, I'm going to try to get as close as I can to this number where I can still do it in my head. What are you thinking? 120. Good job. But now here's the big question. What am I going to have to multiply? 5 times what this time? 12. And remember, I told you, if you don't know your 12s, go backwards to your 11s. So what would 5 times 11 be?
55.
And add 5 to that real quick. What'd you get? 60. Good. Now we got to count zeros. A 1 and a 2. Okay, now we're not done yet. Let's go back up to the question. Explain whether rounding or compatible numbers, get your pencil on gives a what? Closer estimate for the product below. So you get to choose. Do you think that 5,000 is closer to 5,904? Or do you think that 6,000 is closer to 5,904? What do you think? 6,000. So your answer is compatible then. The compatible numbers did better than the rounding. The compatible numbers did better than the rounding. Okay. Number 19. A case of 24 pairs of the same kind of sports shoes costs a little more than $800. Explain whether $28 per pair with tax included is a good estimate of the price. Okay, here's what I want you to know a case is. Okay, I need to see your eyes. This is talking about sports shoes, but I honestly think it would be better to talk about a case of water. So, like I just went to Walmart this morning and I bought a case of water. Now, do y'all know what I'm talking about when they take that real heavy plastic and they put it around a whole case of water and there's like 40 bottles of water in a case? Y'all know what I'm talking about, a case. Okay, well, it's the same thing. Sports shoes isn't just one pair of shoes. It's a whole box of a whole bunch of shoes, okay? Same way with like a case of water. It's not just one bottle of water, is it? It's like at least probably what? 40, 25 or 35 or 40, okay? Well, it's the same exact thing. So here's what they're saying. If there's 24 pairs and altogether it equals $800, would $28 for just one pair make any sense? So what I think we should do is I think we should take this one pair and we should multiply it times 24 and see if we even get close to $800 at all. So what do we want to call this one pair right here? Instead of $28, what do y'all want to call it? 30. And instead of 24 pairs in the case, what do y'all want to call that? are. I heard somebody say 25. Good job. Love it. Because we know our 25s, don't we? Because it's quarters. So now let's see. That basically what we're saying is $30 for a pair of shoes, $30 for another pair of shoes, $30 for another pair of shoes until I get to 25 pairs. And if I get to the number $800, then this is a good estimate that we'll just have to see. So what do you think about 3 times 25? Let's count 25s. 25, 50, 75 with what?
1 0.
With 1 0. So now let's see what it's asking. It says the case of 24 pairs of the same kind of sports shoes cost, what does this say right here? A little more than $800. Well, did we end up with a little more than $800?
No.
Well, maybe we underestimated. Let's see. What did we change 24 to?
25.
25. Did we under or over there?
Over.
What did we change 28 to?
30.
Did we over or under there?
Over.
So both of these numbers were over, and so that right there is actually an overestimate. And they're still saying it costs more than $800. Are they right? Are they even reasonable at all?
No.
I'm going to say it's not a good estimate. Not a good estimate. You need to write that. Not a good estimate. Number 20. The number of adult tickets is the same as the number of child tickets. A total of 38 tickets was purchased. What's the total cost of the tickets? Okay, they're not telling you, I mean, you have choices. You can be an adult and buy a ticket, you can be a child age 5 to 12 and buy a ticket, or you can be under 5 and buy a ticket. Y'all been to the movies, you know what I'm talking about, like that. Okay, so what they're saying is the number of adult tickets that were sold is the exact same amount as the number of child tickets that were sold, and there were 38 altogether. So I'm not going to tell you this answer. The same amount of adult tickets is the same amount of children's tickets, and altogether there was 38. So it's a number plus another number that would be 38. What would that number happen to be? Would it be 10? Is 10 plus 10 38? What's 10 plus 10?
20.
Is it 11 plus 11? What's 11 and 11?
22.
So I got to come up with a higher number that would get close to 38. Jake Lee, I'd love to hear from you. What number with what number do you think would equal 38? It's not 11. We know it's higher than 11. Hey, is it 20 and 20? What would 20 and 20 give you? 40? Is that 38 tickets? 40 is 38, so maybe 20 is a little bit too high. You raised your hand a while ago. What do you think? It can't be 20 and 20. Look, if it was 20 and 20, what does that equal altogether, class? 40. What am I looking for? 38. Gosh, isn't 38 so close to that? Looks like the boys know. Say it, boys. 19. Okay, so here we go. Out beside adult tickets, you need to put 19. And out beside children age 5 to 12, you need to put 19. So let me ask you first. Does 19 tickets and 19 tickets together equal 38 tickets?
Yes.
Let's see if this makes sense so far. The number of adult tickets is the, what does it say? Same as the number of children's tickets. So are we doing right so far?
Yes.
Okay, now we're on a total. A total of 38 tickets. Does that plus that equal 38?
Yes.
Was purchased. Here's the question. What's the total, what does that say?
Cost.
Cost of the tickets. So how much is one adult ticket? $23, but I didn't buy one adult ticket. How many adult tickets did I buy, class? 19. And it nowhere up here does it say to round. Gosh, I wish we could round that to 20, don't y'all?
Yeah.
That would be so good, but it didn't say to do that. So what am I going to have to do? Tell me, what am I going to have to do? What?
19 times 23.
You're right. I'm going to put 23 on top. Kiara, come on. So here we go. We're on our nines. So 9 times 3 is 27. Carry a 2. What's 9 times 2, class? 18 plus 2 more is 20. Now take your eraser. Watch what I want you to do. Luke, don't work ahead. Take your eraser and erase your carries. Mark out that 9. I don't want that 9. Put a placeholder 0. And now we're ready to go to our 1s. What is 1 times 3 going to get us? 3. And 1 times 2 is going to get us 2. Now we got to add. 7 and 0 is 7. 3 and 0 is 3. And 2 and 2 is 4. Now this is a $sign, and these are our adult tickets. Okay, now Jake Lee, what do I have to do for our children tickets to see how much we spent? Because one child's ticket is $17, but I didn't buy just one ticket. I bought 19. So what do I have to do? We just did it here for the adult tickets.
17 times 4.
Okay, I have no idea what you're saying. 17 times what? You should have said 17 times 19. Because I sold 19 of them. Are you writing this? So help me, what does 9 times 7 get me, class? 63. Somebody, Luke, in the back knows his multiplication. What's 9 times 1, class? 9 plus 6 more is going to get you 15. Good. Now take your eraser. Erase that 6. Mark out your 9. You don't need it anymore. Put a placeholder 0. Now let's go to our 1. What is 1 times 7 going to get us? 7. And 1 times 1 is going to get us 1. Now let's add that up. 3 and 0 is 3. What's 5 and 7? 12. And 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Now this was our children's tickets. But what does the question say right there? What is the total? So what do I have to do now, Colin?
437 plus 300.
Yeah, and look what I did. I just wrote the 323 under the adult tickets. Now add that up and we'll see what Hope gets. What'd you get?
860.
860? Do y'all agree? What'd y'all get?
760.
760? Do y'all agree with 760? Yeah, okay, there's your answer, 760. Okay, last thing I'm going to point out, on number 21, it wants the answer that is not the good answer, okay? In other words, there's 3 really good answers and 1 does not make sense. Pick the one that does not make sense. Thumbs up. Okay, makes sense? Okay, and you can do this, you can do the front. If you haven't finished Practice Buddies 3-1, you're behind, because that was supposed to be your homework over the weekend. Now you're on Practice Buddies 3-2. Go.